Welcome to the Car Guys. This week, Damian has some news.
That's right. The 911 Carrera T that I love is gone, but in its place, a GT3 Touring.
Yeah!
Welcome back to the 911 Carrera T. From the moment I picked up this car, it has been utter joy every single mile. It's a lovely, lovely car, this. All the elements are right. You can just jump straight into it, away you go, you don't have to think, everything works perfectly. It's got little sort of quirky touches, it looks amazing. It's such a lovely shape, and the way that they've done the details just makes the T, I think, an instant classic. I like the gutsy little turbocharged engine. I think it's got great pull. When you hustle it through the gears, it's a quick little thing. The damping, the way that the suspension has been set up makes it incredibly darty. The rear wheel steer, again, makes it a ferocious little terrier on B roads and twisty little country roads. I love the door pulls, I love the interior, I love the way it's very classy in here. I love how understated it looks from the outside. I just love everything about it. Negatives of the Carrera T, there's really not many. I think 7 gears is one too many, occasionally missing gears or having them so close together that it's not easy to make as smooth a gear change as I like. When you use the door pull to open the door, you naturally use your forearm then to push the door open, and that leaves a big old sweaty, greasy mark on this lovely door. It's a little bit noisy in here, but then I like that. I like hearing more of the car. So I always said that the only car that would replace this car would be a GT3 Touring. And I'm afraid today is that day. This is the last journey that I'm going to take in this 911 Carrera T. And that makes me a bit sad. I hoped to get a brand new GT car from Porsche. I tried everything I could, but in the end it wasn't to be. And am I a bit bitter about it? Yes. Am I extremely annoyed that I'm now going to have to pay way over the asking price and have some other guy's name in the logbook before mine? Yes. Angry, bitter, disappointed, frustrated, resentful, moody. And that's not really how you want to be when you're trying to buy a brand new car from a brand that you massively respect. Unfortunately, my favoured Porsche dealer in Portsmouth was not able to secure an allocation. I know they really wanted to. I've since learnt that the only person to buy a Touring from that dealership has already flipped the car, and in fact it may have been flipped twice. So I think it's the right move to trade in the T against the GT3 Touring, but that doesn't stop this being a bittersweet moment. I was actually able to buy it brand new. I put the very first miles on it. I was the first owner of this car, so this car is always going to be special. So I've been looking for a few months for the GT3 Touring, keeping an eye out, just studying the prices, studying the specs, and it's got to the point now where even though I'm going to have to pay substantially over the list price for this car, and when I say substantially, I mean almost the price of this Carrera T over list price to get one of these cars. The reason why I'm prepared to do that, it's not just because I want it now, it's partly because of that, but it's also because I think these cars, not many people ticked the Touring box, which means that it has lost the large fixed wing on the back and it's replaced with the smooth profile just like this car has got. So it's more like a sort of classic shape 911. It's got all the brutality and speed and handling of the latest GT3, a real wolf in sheep's clothing. To get a Touring in the right spec and with almost no miles, they're not going to be around forever. Now I'm hoping obviously that because they are so rare in the GT3 lineup, and because perhaps they're going to be the last naturally aspirated GT3, that value will actually hold. So that's what today is all about. I've done the searching, I've done my research, I've found pretty much the ideal spec car, I think. I found it at Hexagon Classics, which is a dealer that I know very well. It's someone that I bought cars from in the past. They also sponsored the Total 911 Magazine Awards when I owned that magazine. I'm massively excited to pick up this car, but it's tinged with regret because in order to achieve it, I'm having to part X this Carrera T. I know, before you say it, that I could keep both, but come on, surely even you would agree that it would be excessive for me to keep both. Here we are at Hexagon Classics to pick up the new GT3 Touring.
And we're going to have a little mooch around, see what else they've got in stock, see if there's any other delightful pieces of machinery we'd like to purchase on the way out.
Which there is.
Obviously, always. It's Hexagon Classics.
964 turbo, 964 turbo.
Oh, GTS, 328 GTS.
So yeah, so I'm quite pleased that actually Hexagon has come up trumps with supplying this car, because it's a dealership that I bought the BMW 750 from. A very pleasurable experience, it generally is with Hexagon. They're very professional, very courteous, treat you really, really well. And hopefully, obviously, for a return customer, discount? This is a car very much that I hope to keep forever. I think it's going to be...
Whoa, can we stop there?
Yep.
Didn't you say that about the Carrera T? How long did that last?
2 months, 3 months maybe.
Fickle, viewers, fickle.
I did say this was the only car that I would sell the Carrera T for, is this one. So I am a man of my word at least.
Fair point.
So what we're going to do now is sign all the paperwork. We're going to take the car out of the showroom, try not to be distracted by too many of the other cars that are here, and then drive it through London at rush hour. I mean, what could be better?
What do we think then?
Holy shit. It looks amazing.
That's what, is that a what is it?
It's a GT3 Touring.
Oh!
It's a mean mother.
So on that side, there's a outgoing Carrera T behind me. Look at this! Look at this! It's amazing, doesn't it?
So GT3 Touring added to the Car Guys garage. Very, very excited. Can't wait to drive it. Let's go. So here we are in the GT3 Touring, driving away from Hexagon Classics for the first time. What are you thinking, Jason?
Well, the way it carries speed through the traffic,
the slow-moving rush hour traffic is quite dizzying.
So first impressions, these seats very snug, but quite comfortable on the old rear quarters.
It's noticeably harsher in terms of the ride.
Isn't it though?
Yeah.
It's really quiet.
That's sort of what you want.
It's supposed to be a touring. Yeah, but it's supposed to be touring, so I thought it would be a bit softer.
That's true, that's true.
Unless we've got it on super... What's the suspension button do? What's that say then?
Sport selected, so that means even harder.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Take that off then.
Take that off, take that off. We're in London, for God's sake. We've got red dials up ahead, which personally I probably wouldn't have spec'd if I'd have chosen this from new. Don't get me started. But they do at least give the car a little bit of character.
Has it got the multi-function steering wheel like the Carrera T?
No. Can't do anything there. All it is fast. That's the only option you've got, is bloody fast.
That's not a bad option. What's the old gearbox like? Does it feel as good as the T?
Yeah.
Precise as?
Oh yeah. If not, slightly more so actually.
Oh, cheeky. We haven't got any parking sensors, just pointing that out.
Yeah, that was a little bit of a shock actually. I mean, having bought the car, I seemingly seemed to miss the fact that there's no parking sensors whatsoever on this car. Just gonna have to be a little bit careful then.
Just gonna have to be careful manoeuvricating it.
Yes. I suppose that, at least it means it's more streamlined.
Oh yeah, because those little dimples for the parking sensors made such a difference.
Have you never watched The Aviator? Look at the rivets. Look at the rivets on the plane. A little bit of profile action there. I wasn't checking you out, I was looking at the profile.
You liar.
Typical 911 inside. We've got a bit of carbon, which is nice.
Yep.
But I agree, big shock is the lack of the leather option. So we do have this sort of scaly lizard material on all the surfaces.
Like Ford.
Not like Ford, no.
Yeah, just like Ford.
No, this is racing lizard.
But racing lizard. But as I said earlier, the lack of leather means it's more lightweight. Leather's really heavy.
I'm not buying that.
You're not buying that?
No. Obviously, it's wider, it's more purposeful, it looks mean as hell, it's angry, it's noisy. It's lovely.
And actually, I prefer it without the spoiler on the back. I think it looks much meaner.
Yeah. Yeah, that is, when you see a Touring in the flesh, then you understand what this option is all about and just how unbelievably cool it looks compared to the wing, which, let's face it, is a bit obvious.
It is a bit obvious.
And they're getting bigger and bigger as well on 911s.
So,
first impressions, growly, wide, aggressive, menacing,
bumpy. I think it's going to be a monster when you get a bit of open road and get to open her up. Although, of course, you've got to run her in, because you know how many people on the channel comment that you thrash your cars before running them in.
What are you doing revving it cold?
So the really annoying thing is that because Porsche won't sell you one of these, and because there's so many people that are friends of Porsche, which means that you can't build a relationship that's going to get you these GT cars, you're forced to buy it as an aftermarket thing. No recognition from Porsche whatsoever, and it counts not a jot towards another one.
That's very true.
Which is super, super annoying.
And how annoying is that? Yeah, it doesn't even help me get another one in the future.
But to be fair, that's exactly the same as Ferrari with the F40. That gives you zero kudos with Ferrari.
I think it gives you it gives you some classic Ferrari kudos points, which is partly helpful.
Partly, but not
massively.
Not massively.
No. Okay, so it's the next day, and I thought I'd give you just a brief glimpse of what this new GT3 Touring is like when it is not in rush hour traffic and when it's out on some open roads. So let's have a look. The noise is a raucous symphony compared to the turbo strangled Carrera T, but it does sound like a proper 911. I mean, there's no mistaking that noise. Oh, yeah. Some twisty bits to exercise your new GT3. Lovely cornering ability. Look at that. Wow. That is epic. Braking's exceptional. The nose turns in instantly. This has got such a hard, aggressive, industrial edge to it. It's got another 4,000 revs on top of what I just did there. I mean, this thing's going to sing, isn't it? I have to keep reminding myself that this is a wider car as well. So gaps that I would easily sneak through in the Carrera T. Got to take a little bit more care with this one, a little bit more circumspect. Going over the width restrictors on Chelsea Bridge last night was terrifying. I do think this is an incredible car. I'm really looking forward to exploring all of its potential. Jason, you have driven this GT3 Touring. What do you now think of it?
This thing wants to step out at every opportunity. What are you looking at that for?
Well, it will step out if you jam your foot onto the accelerator pedal. That's what happens. As if you drive it with a bit more sophistication.
I come from Essex, I got literally no sophistication. Yeah, it's incredible. It's bouncy, it's jiggly, it's everything that I love about cars is this thing personified. It's absolutely amazing. It's very, very noisy. It's very mechanical as well. You can hear the gears going into the gearbox being selected. It's
almost steampunk, isn't it?
Oh, it's fabulous.
It's the filth.
Her Majesty's gone. Jesus. You won't catch me, copper.
Exactly. Should we go them?
No.
Come on, boys. Come on then. At the lights. Let's race for pink slips. So we posed the question at the start of this video whether we'd made the right choice about chopping in the T for this.
Yes.
I think we're now in a position to answer it.
Yes.
Let us tell the ladies and gentlemen what is our verdict.
Yes.
Was it
the right decision?
Yes. Yes, it was. So that's it. The GT3 Touring is now part of the Car Guys garage. Let us know what you think. Please send us comments. Do you think we've made the right decision getting this car and swapping it for the T? Thanks for watching the video, guys. Hope you enjoyed the collection of the new GT3 Touring.
Don't forget to subscribe, leave comments because we read all of them. Ding that notification bell so you know when the next video is uploaded. See you on the next one.